Chapter 1. Overview of the cashiering process. In this chapter you will get a very high-level overview of the cashiering process. This is important so that you understand all the following chapters and how they fit into the whole cashiering process. Checkout is an important part of the guest experience. It is the last and lasting impression. Speed and efficiency of checkout can be effective if you are conversant with Opera cashiering functions. Very simply, when a guest checks out of the hotel, this is what the process looks like. Remember, at a very high level. First, determine the guest name and its room number. Locate the folio in Opera. Verify payment instructions and take the required action. Then check all charges and applicable discounts. Verify all the charges with the guest. Handle any questions or inquiries from the guest. Print the bill and proceed with the payment. Finally, check out the guest in the system. In this part, we will cover all these main steps in detail. Let us go through some terminology before we start the chapters. When we talk about folio in this module, we actually mean guest bill. When the guest is in-house, he can sign for anything he may consume in the hotel, and all the checks he signs are posted to his room bill. This means that the folio is part of the guest ledger. When the guest checks out, he will either pay his bill, or if it's a third-party payment, then the bill becomes part of a guest city ledger. One more thing to understand before we go into this module is that when a guest checks out, they usually settle their bill in one of the four following ways: either by cash, credit card, by voucher, or they bill to a company or third-party payment. For each of these types of payment, your hotel will have a credit policy. We will not cover your hotel's credit policy in this module. That will be covered by your departmental trainer. Chapter 2. Overview of the cashiering menu. In this chapter we will cover the main tabs and subtabs in the cashiering menu. To access the cashiering menu, click on the cashiering icon on top of the screen. On the left, the cashiering sub-menu items will appear. You can also access this quickly by pressing the Alt key plus C. Let us now go through the cashiering sub-menu items. Billing is to access the guest bill. Fast posting is to post items to different rooms at the same time. In the cashiering functions, you can find many options like currency exchange, currency calculator, folio history, journal and receipt history. Cashier shift function is an option that allows you to access the cashier shift close, cashier shift reports, and reprint reports to verify all your transactions during your shift. We will cover these in one of the chapters. Passerby is a one-time bill which is not connected to a guest room folio. For example, an outside guest is paying for his or her health club membership. Quick checkout is the fastest way to check out rooms. All these functions will be explained in later detail throughout this training. To access most of the cashiering functions, you will be required to re-enter your Opera password. This is for security reasons, due to the high level of responsibility as it is related to the guest charges and payments. The cashiering screen contains confidential payment method and credit card information of the guest, so you should take care when using this screen. Therefore, make sure to log out of the cashiering menu when not in use by closing the cashiering window. There are different rights for different level of users. Your login and password give you access to your level of usage. Be sure to keep your login and password confidential and personal. To access the Cashiering menu, click on Cashiering icon on the horizontal menu. Click on Billing on the sub-menu on the left. The Cashier login window will appear, and you have to re-enter your Opera password and click Login. When you log in for the first time to the Cashiering menu during the shift, a message will appear. Do you want to open the cashier? Confirm by clicking Yes. You are now logged in as a cashier and have access to the various cashiering functions. Chapter 4. Billing Preview and Print Folio. When a guest would like to check out, you will need to locate the folio of the guest. Preview the folio on the screen to ensure that all the charges are applied according to the payment instructions. Confirm all the charges with the guest and finally print the bill. In this chapter, we will learn how to do this. When the guest arrives at the desk to check out, the first thing you need to do is to obtain the guest name, if you don't know it already. By clicking on Billing from the Cashiering sub-menu, you will go to the in-house guest screen and search for the required guest. Enter the first letters of the name in the name field and click on the search button. This will bring up a screen with all guests with a similar name. Select the right guest by confirming the room number with the guest. If the system does not find the right guest, search by using the room number. If still not found, then use the other search options like group, company, blog, stayovers for guests that's staying over tonight, only due outs for guests departing today, or only checked out for guests already checked out today. There are also advanced options available, which can be activated by clicking on the Advanced button on the right. Once the search criteria has been entered and the required reservation has been located, press Select to access the billing screen or double-click on the correct room or guest. Review all reservation details and billing instructions, for example, traces and routing, by clicking on the corresponding red boxes. Verify the payment instructions and check that the correct charge routing is in place, the correct charges are on the guest folio, all the corrections entries have been filtered so as not to print these on the guest bill. Check that postings have been routed to windows as required in the payment instructions, and review each window to check if charges and discounts have been applied according to the reservation terms and/or payment instructions. You have learned how to do a routing in the front desk module. We will see how to perform postings and adjustments in later chapters of this module. If an alert is set up, it will pop up automatically. You have seen alerts and comments as well in the previous modules. You remember that they appear in a red box at the bottom of the screen. It is vital that you check all alerts and comments at this point and apply any instructions. Confirm and clarify with the guest as required. For example, the guest may have had breakfast and this has not yet been posted. The guest may have consumed something from the minibar that has not been posted. The guest is departing after the standard checkout time, and the late checkout charge has been posted. A guest is entitled to an F&B discount, and this has been applied, and so forth. Usually a guest signature is required before posting an item to his bill. Postings are done by the cashier, as well as other departments, for example by the restaurant, if the guest had a meal in the restaurant and signed a check to be posted to his room. Ensure that all charges and applicable discounts are up to date and correctly recorded. If all is correctly recorded and posted already, then highlight the right window by clicking on it. This is the window which the guest will pay, and click on Folio, which will open a new window. The dates are loaded automatically. Following buttons are available on the right side. Folio style is used to change the layout or style of the folio. Preview is to have an overview of the folio without printing. Print will print out the folio, which can be presented to the guest for review. Fax. The bill can be sent by fax by clicking on it when supported by the system. Email allows you to automatically email the folio to the guest, only if this is supported by your system. File allows you to save the folio in your computer. If everything is okay with the bill, proceed with the checkout. This will be explained in the settlement sections later during this training. If not everything is correctly recorded and postings are still missing, then ask about the items consumed and post them to his folio, which will be explained in the next chapter. Chapter 5. Posting.